All right, welcome to our fifth news nail of 2022. And you can imagine what we're talking about today. It's in the news, it's everywhere. It is our friend Elon Musk, who has bought a 9% share in Twitter with the goal of trying to disrupt the company, trying to make some changes there that he thinks are well needed. That is a discussion for a whole nother news nail. However, he's done it. The next day, the board reached out and said, we'd love to hear your ideas, and asked him to join the board. And then who knows what happened, because roughly 24 hours later, he was thrown overboard. Get it? Overboard. Anyway, why is Elon doing this? Well, there's several reasons. One is he's like a little spoiled boy who loves attention. He has this incessant need to be constantly in the news cycle, not unlike other Twitter abusers, if we are, some folks in basketball, some folks in politics. They just need to be heard, need to be seen all the time. But here we are. And nothing against Elon. I think he's a genius. Anybody that can remotely land stages of rockets, not once, but twice, but 3 times on a barge in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean without anybody around, using like a drone, is a genius. Keep doing that. Get more Starlink. Go to Mars. But I don't know, Twitter, it seems a little bit out of his realm of ability. Anyway, here we are. He has 9%. They've tossed him out. So now he wants to control it by owning the company. He needs to get another 42% of the company. What he has done is he's offered $54.20 for the remaining 91% that he doesn't have, so he can run the company, he can own the company. How he's going to finance it is a whole nother conversation. But anyway, the first question is this a fair price? Well, you know, before, oh yeah, 54.20, isn't that a cute number? 420, get it? 420 for tomorrow's date, but it's also a big weed joke of some sort. I don't know, but is it a good price? Well, you know, before he stepped into this fray a few weeks ago, it was $30 a share, so it seems like a nice premium. Last summer, it was in the 70s. Interesting enough, Twitter had Goldman look at their stock, I think roughly a year ago, thinking what it was worth. If they were going into the acquisition mode, they were thinking $30 a share. More recently, JP Morgan took a crack at it. They were thinking more like $56 a share. So it's a fair price if he can come up with the money. So how does he do this? How does he get control of the company? What if he can't get the other 91% of the shareholders to sell to him? What he can do is, in a way, hostily take over the company. And to do that, he needs to have 51%. Once at 51%, he can then put his own leadership in there. He can fire the board. He can do whatever he wants. So how does he get to 51%? Kind of three general ways to get there. He can keep buying up the shares in the open market, but when people get wind of that, it starts driving the price up. So he'd be paying, in a sense, more than $54.20 a share. He could make a tender offer of $54.20 and say, I will buy the first 42% that comes my way for $54.20. After that, you're on your own, but I will have 51% of the company, and I'm not buying any more shares. So other shareholders, let me know what you think. But at 51%, again, he can put his own pals on the board, do whatever he wants. And that leads to number 3, which is called a second step merger. He can buy 51% of the company at that fair $54.20 price. And then once he gets to 51%, he owns the company. He can merge it into a new entity. And for the remaining 49%, he can offer a much lower share price, maybe $30 a share. So his average total purchase price of all the shares comes out to about $42 a share. Well, of course, the folks, the board at Twitter doesn't like this. They don't think it's good for the shareholders. And the board acts as fiduciaries. Fiduciaries are kind of like they have financial responsibility for the other shareholders. So they have to make the decisions for the other shareholders. And in their opinion, this is not a good thing to do. So one step they can take to put the whole thing to rest without getting into competitive bids is enact what we call a poison pill, legally called a shareholder rights plan. What this does, it does everything it can to prevent anyone ever reaching that 51% of the company. And what it effectively does, it is ways to dilute the person who's buying up these shares, now Elon Musk, to dilute his ownership so it can never get close to 51%. So the poison pill kicks in for anybody who gets over 15%. This poison pill kicks in, and what they have offered is, at that point, it's a Twitter twofer. For $210, you get $420 worth of Twitter stock. It's basically 2 for 1. But they like Elon, they're funny too. 420, get it? 420. Ha. I mean, most common one of these is, you know, for $100, you get $200 of shares. They could also have said, look, for every existing shareholder, we will give you a right to a new share for free without putting out any money, which effectively doubles the number of shares out there. Again, further diluting what Elon is holding. You can imagine the conversation with the lawyers and the accountants in the room, with the board saying, let's do 210 for 420. Like the lawyers, like whatever, just do what you want to do. They could negotiate with Elon to get to a higher price, which the other shareholders might think is worthwhile. We don't care who buys us, as long as you give me a good price. Maybe that price is somewhere around, I don't know, $69 a share. See, we can be funny too, $469. Anyway, that's it. Stay tuned. I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about Elon Musk and what he wants to do with Twitter. And so stay tuned. We will talk more.